Hello there. Sorry, that's not fake. I am still sick. Unfortunately, I'm not completely better yet, which is irritating to say the least. Yeah, I mean, you might be able to hear it a little bit. My voice is still a little gone. I still have this constant cough, and I still can't smell or taste, and a little spaciness in my head. So we're going on about 20 days of this, so I'm pretty sick of it. And just because of that, I haven't been able to go out and do stuff. So I've been thinking, what kind of videos could I possibly make while I'm still at home? And one thing that popped into my head was I thought about it, and it's so busy when I'm editing for the Disney. I mean, that was just trying to get everything done, and I had other work with, volunteer work with the church, and then my other projects I was doing. So it was like December was crazy. And then when we were finally done, I think right now I'm realizing, I vlogged 4 different trips to Disney, which is a big deal. And I remember back in 2016, there was, I'm pretty sure the one was that it was like the first time I was going to Disney without my grandmother, and I wanted to record everything so that she could see it. And that's pretty much it. I mean, it was just, I want to show her all of this. And from that, I realized, wow, I actually had more fun of a vacation than I thought I would have. Because when I got home, I was able to look back over it and turn it into something creatively that I maybe didn't do at that time before. And then when 2018 came around, we went again. I said, well, I have to do it again. And then 2019, it was a sure thing. And this one was, obviously, I had to. And I think this one was probably the biggest feat. We talked about it in another video, but I think I had close to 15 hours of footage. And I think when we were all finished, we had 8 hours exactly. And when you think about that, it's like, wow, really? 8 hours? That's crazy. Because, I mean, that's 8 hours of footage that's shown. And you don't usually have that all the time. So it was fun to be able to do it. So I loved it. I loved every bit of it. But one thing I thought of was how every single intro is different. From the first one in 2016 to the most recent one in 2021, which is my favorite. And we'll be looking at all 4 of them. It's going to be real quick, because these intros, they're supposed to be short. And for me, that's usually about 30 seconds to 45 seconds. I think 2016 is the shortest, but I wanted to watch those with you and react to them, because I haven't seen some of them for a couple of months. I watch them occasionally, but I haven't seen them in a while, and I wanted to react and say, this, and maybe give you more of an insight into it, and just have fun with it, So let's jump into 2016. This one was really short. Yeah, that was definitely short. That was 15 seconds. And I remember when I had first put that shot in 4K. This was 4K, but it was lower 4K. It was 720 to what 1080 HD is now, if that makes sense to you. So I would say the first time we actually had full 4K, high res 4K, was just this last trip. And it was still with the iPhone. All of these have been done with the iPhone, which I've been super, super happy with. But then I look back at some of the shots, and it's I see, wow, I was really impressed that I got to film all this. This is the first time on the mine train. And then the shot with Joe, that's a big deal that I was able to actually, capture that. It's just right place, right time, and I had a lot of fun doing things completely differently. And I like the flow of everything. So, the only thing, I hate this, but my beard was the worst beard of all the trips. Because it's I think I had just shaved, and it shows my double chin, and I was Yeah, so not a fan of that. But yeah, I mean, you know, it was fun watching it. And I think now about how much it's changed, you know, and we'll see that as we go to the next one. So let's jump into 2018 now. All right, so 2018, that's the beginning of Avatar, Pandora. I always call it Avatar Land, I'm not sure why. But, I mean, completely, full disclosure, completely stole this from, you know, Magical Express, the original Magical Express video. Well, I stole most of it. But then, like, I changed, you know, the sound, and I added, you know, welcome, Walt Disney. And then Tinkerbell, obviously. And I like the flow of this one. I mean, it shows off a whole bunch of new stuff. I mean, this is the first time also seeing President Trump in the Hall of Presidents. And there's a couple of shots, though, that whenever I watch this, I think really make the quality of this intro less. And maybe you don't think anything like that. I'm just giving my own personal insights. The Carnosaurus, the one right there, the dinosaur, yep. And then the fish one is definitely a lower quality. So you go from, like, even Donald Trump seems like a higher quality than this Carnotaurus. And then you go to the lion, super high quality. You see the lion even roaring and everything. And then you go to the fish, and it's like ridiculous low quality. I think what happened was I did it in slow motion, or I put it right up against the glass, and the glass was dirty. And that's what happened, but it looks like trash. So whenever I see that, it really takes it out for me. But yeah, I mean, and then just going from like, I mean, just the shots in the Peter Pan ride, and then it goes to a beautiful shot where it's like high quality and everything. And, I mean, one complaint I have is my beard, again. This has got to be the second worst beard, because I look like a werewolf man. No offense to werewolf or men. But yeah, I'm not looking great. So, yeah, I don't know. I like this one. I would have to put this one, I'm going to say 2016's in last place. This one I probably, I'm going to put it in either second or third. It's definitely not first. But yeah, I'm going to, we'll see. We'll see as we go, which I like more. But yeah, and then this one, like I said before, this wasn't filmed in 4K either. This was just, I mean, it was filmed in 4K. It was just low quality 4K. And it was the iPhone. It worked for me. I'm not going to complain. All right. So next, 2019.
I believe we can build a community that more people will talk about and come to look at than any other area in the world.
All right, so I still love this one. I just love that I put that part in the beginning with, you know, Walt talking, and a complaint that I hear occasionally with my videos is that if it's a fast song, if the beats are very that it's moving, that the images are moving too quickly. That's a very specific form that I do. I'm sorry, I really am. But that's a very specific form that I do, and I think if I don't know. I couldn't sit idly by and watch it, and then it didn't have, cut. Like, if it was just a whole shot and I'm hearing all these cuts, it's like I have to. And this one I even failed on my own account because I look in here and right when it's going da 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 and it's speeding up, I'm not speeding up with my cuts and transitions. So you can never make everyone happy. The least I can do is try to make myself happy, which is a hard feat in of itself. But I really, really like this one. I thought all the shots were really, really nice, and I don't know, it was fun. Interesting, like right at the part where the doors open, that's like completely cutting to a different part of the song, which I thought was masked pretty nicely, if I do say so myself. But this was the first time getting to go to Galaxy's Edge and Toy Story Land, and it was just awesome. Yeah, so also, funny little note, I don't know why, but I threw in one, you can see the horrible werewolf man beard. I don't know why I threw that in, but it's there. It's a 2018 and a 2019 intro. So, I'm a fraud. But yeah, it's there. So, that one, I gotta say that one gets second place. I really wish I would have changed, how it like cuts and everything, but I'm happy with it. So that's second place, and then 2018 is third. So, we still have 2021. I know we've watched it so many times, but just humor me. And also, one thing to add, the reason I didn't cut so close is because I didn't have a computer back in 2019 that could actually get those cuts properly. I do remember that, where I was like, I can't zoom in close enough to actually get the cuts to actually register. And then even if I did, the computer would crash. It was a really, really bad computer. But it was what I had. It was what I was dealing with. And now I have a monster. So, all right, 2021.
Here age relives fond memories of the past, and here youth may savor the challenge and promise of the future.
I only hope that we never lose sight of one thing, that it was all started by a mouse.
All right, yeah, that's got to be my favorite. It has to be, just the amount of work that was put into it. What usually happens is I'll try and think of something in the beginning, and I'll do as much as I'm able to do, and this is before we go. And there's not really much you're able to do. You're usually able to get the start of it, and then you pretty much just have to throw shots into it. It's very, very simple. This one was a little harder. I knew it was the 50th, and I needed to pay tribute to Walt and all that Walt stood for. And Walt wouldn't want a tribute to himself. He'd want, more of what he stood for. So that's what I was thinking about. And so I was thinking, old footage, 50 years. Wow. We have to think about this. So I started going through, and I was thinking, okay, here's the first year. Oh, well, let's just do it by the decade. So once I got old footage of Disney, I was like in nostalgia heaven. And then it was pretty much finding the best footage that I could use and getting the numbers to line up. That was a big annoyance because, and you can see easily that they do not line up. But it was just getting the different shots to line up so that it looked proper, so that it looked like it was actually going through the years. Some of the footage is actually mine, and most of it isn't. Obviously, some of it is from commercials and stuff like that, but it's hard to find certain commercials. I remember this balloon commercial that I was trying to find for so long. It was in Grand Central Station, and these balloons were coming in. And it was a part of the Celebrate campaign, and the balloons, I just can't find it. You can't find it in its original quality. I found it in like a low 320, which is like dog food quality. But yeah, it's hard to find them, and that's frustrating. But I think this worked out. And then like all the cuts were so in, and I think my only complaint, if I could have any complaint, and this is mostly with Adobe, I really thought that, I'm trying to think of the right way of saying this. Adobe updated before I came back. And when I came back, all the shots, it used to have it so if you dropped a shot into your editing program, it was as the shot was taken. They didn't change it at all. Now what they've done is they've like extremely lit them up. So they're so bright, and I had to go in and fix everyone. And it was during this that I realized, okay, some need to be darker, and I didn't use the same plan across the board. So some of these shots are darker than they should, some are too light. So that's my only complaint, like really thinking back and going, that was annoying. Which isn't, I guess, too big of a complaint, but it was still there, and it was really, really frustrating. So, but yeah, I think this is absolutely my favorite one. I'm excited for what's coming next, honestly. I mean, just to think about it, that I think I've been to Disney about 12 times, and some people have never gone, and I'm just so blessed to have gone. But I think there's also the element of just the joy that I've had. Not only filming it for myself, but filming it for other people to see. And it's for everyone. Whether you want to watch an hour and 15, hour and a half long video, or if you want to watch 5 minutes, it's for everybody. And these intros are important because an intro is supposed to drag you in and say, this is what I'm selling you. I'm showing you what is for sale. These fun adventures I could go on, and you could be a part of those. Yeah, so I really, really, really hope that I'm feeling better soon, even by next week, because I don't want to be stuck inside for one, and I want to start going out and doing things. I mean, January is almost half over, and it's frustrating because it's like, okay, I want to do more this year. I want to be different than, last year. And so far we're doing good, but yeah. So I hope you guys are healthy. I hope you guys are having a good, month so far. Down in the comments section below, tell me which one is your favorite. Which of the intros is your favorite? I won't take offense. Any criticism that you want to give is fine with me. Sorry, I can't talk. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next week. Bye.